If you graduate from an Ivy League school, you're probably going to get 2 lottery tickets in the game of life. Everyone else gets 1.
Do Ivy League schools really matter? I think the answer is if you are a low-income student, you come from a place without a lot of means, without a lot of social connections, and you go to an Ivy League school or what's often called an Ivy Plus school, it's game-changing. Like, it will change the networks and connections you have and lead you to opportunities you never otherwise could have imagined, and it is a real game changer. I think if you come from upper class background, it's probably comparatively less important. Certainly Jeff's research, I think, would point to the fact that you get in these clusters and jobs sort of tend to follow, right, the clusters that you're in. So I think it's not irrelevant. You're disproportionately present in, say, the Fortune 500 CEOs and sort of these outsized jobs. The bell curve maybe is shifted to the right, but it's less of a game changer. But if you're a low-income student without those connections, I think it's I think it is a game changer for those individuals, not because of the learning that's going on there, but because of the networking and connections and friendships and social connectivity you're making.
This is my chance to pick on my co-host who went to an Ivy League. Because when you really look at the data, there was this study last year in Nature that looked at the Ivy League and outcomes. The one place that really mattered was Harvard, kind of above everybody else. But as Michael knows, because he read this chapter of my book that's going to be coming out in the fall, is that the thing about the Ivy League is, sure, it has a huge impact. There's no doubt about it. But it's also really tiny. So at the end of the day, when we looked at where graduates of all different kinds of colleges end up, if you want to work at McKinsey, if you want to work at GM, if you want to work at JP Morgan, there are students or graduates from colleges up and down the pecking order. And in fact, because big state universities, other less selective places are so much bigger, your chances of working in any company, even in the Fortune 50, you're going to have a much greater chance of working with somebody who didn't graduate from an Ivy League institution, probably, by the way, even being managed by somebody who didn't graduate from an Ivy League institution. And so, as David Deming talks often about this, he's an economist at Harvard. He talks often about lottery tickets, right? If you graduate from an Ivy League school, you're probably going to get 2 lottery tickets in the game of life. Everyone else gets 1. So does that mean you're guaranteed to win the lottery? No. Do you have a better shot? Sure. But it doesn't mean you don't have any shot if you don't go to an Ivy League school.